Hello and welcome. This is your next class of the UPSC Mains Answer Writing Initiative. This is class number 36. Every single day, as you know, at 7 p.m. we come here and we analyze a previous year question, try and see how to write these answers, also give you a homework for you to practice. There is a very important announcement that I want all of you to pay attention to. In order to further help you in your answer writing and give it a shape of an entire program, I decided to launch after prelims examination a Mastering UPSC Mains Answer Writing program. Now this is not just a mains test series. It will have a mains test series also, but this is not just that. What we'll be doing in this program is, from the very beginning, I will basically handhold you to try and explain how to write answers starting from the very first level of questions, simple easy questions, and then gradually every week we'll increase the level of questions, and then by the end of the program I will bring you to the level where the UPSC asks you questions. So for example, every week I'll give you a target that this week you have to study this much. I'll give you some syllabus, some chapters, some subjects, and then at the end of the week I'll give you the homework. That will be questions based on the topics that you had to do. I will check those copies, and then every single week we will have a one-on-one session. Just you and me will have one-on-one session to discuss your progress, to discuss where you stand, and that is how we will progress. By the end of this program, you will be able to master all these kind of questions that UPSC asks. It will end with a test series as well. In total, we are aiming to cover over 500 questions. The program will also have classes on essay as well, and I'll be giving you some important pointers on mains examination. So if you want more details, I will be declaring details about this very soon. Exact date when it begins, the fee structure, etc. I'll be declaring it soon. But if you need any information for this program right now, if you have any doubts, you can always email me. This is my email address. Just mail it to me, whatever questions you might have about this program. I'll be happy to tell you. The plan is to launch it right after a prelims examination, and this is helpful for both for 2024 and 2025 aspirants. So if you are someone who is planning for 2025 attempt, it is helpful for you as well. Please do make sure that you do pay attention to this program. Moving on to, let's see what do we have our question for the day. Before we begin, if you are new here, I would like to remind you, in the very first class of this series, we discuss about how to write an answer. So if you are very new, you don't know any idea, you don't have any idea how to write a structure of the answer, how to begin, where to begin, intro, main body, conclusion. If you are at that stage, I would highly advise you to go through the very first video. The link of the entire playlist is in the description of the video. Click that, go to the very first video, and there you will be taught about introduction, main body, how to write, how not to write. See that. Again, it is class number 1. Please do see that, and then you can come back here. Now let's see what is the question that we are facing today. Today we have taken up a question from 2022 paper of GS3. The question is pretty straightforward. What are the major challenges in the PDS, that is public distribution system in India? How can it be made more effective and transparent? Question is simple on the PDS system. I hope all of you know what PDS system is. For those who don't know, PDS system is the system through which the government of India distributes ration to the people at a subsidized cost, or at free cost, or at free of cost even in sometimes. That is called the PDS system, public distribution system. In local language, you might also call it the government ration shops. Those are the PDS. The government of India, as you know, procures a lot of food grains from the farmers, and they are sold at a very low subsidized price under a lot of scheme like the food security program. All that is done by the PDS. Now, PDS has been effective in ensuring that the most poor population in India, at least they also get whatever food grains that they require. On the other hand, there have been a lot of problems with the PDS. Problems, for example, have been there is not enough storage space, so a lot of food grains get wasted. The Food Corporation of India does not have enough go-downs. Then there is a huge subsidy bill for the government. Also, apart from that, a lot of these food grains are then resold. Many people who get these food grains at a very low cost, they then resell it at a higher price to earn their own margin. So these are a lot of issues associated with this that we'll have to write here. Now the interesting part is the suggestion part. See, when you prepare for the UPSC examination, you read about a lot of different committees being formed for different purposes, like Vivek Degroy Committee for Railways, like the Bimal Charan Committee for RBI. However, for PDS also there has been a very important committee made called the Shanta Kumar Committee, where, and in fact there have been multiple committees made that have suggested how to improve the PDS system. In these kind of questions, writing about those committees is ideal. That is where reading about those committees is important. That the suggestion that they gave, you can write those in the answer as a suggestion, and that will become a very, very good answer. So try and do that when you read about different committees, the report that they have given, the suggestion that they have given, try and incorporate that into answers, and that becomes a very good answer. I'll show you how. So we'll first write the introduction about PDS. We'll first define it. As you know, introduction has to be a fact or a definition. So we'll first define it. If you know a fact, for example, when did it start, under which government did it start, if you have that kind of a fact, you can go ahead with that. We have given a simple definition. It's a food security system that works under Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution. It is operated jointly by central and the state government. So it's a very simple definition, straightforward. Again, if you have an interesting fact about this, please go ahead and write that. We'll jump to the main body then, and we'll write about the challenges it faces. So again, there are a lot of challenges. It is not a definitive list. If you have some other challenges, feel free to write those as well. For example, it is open-ended procurement. So government does not say, for example, there's a farmer that has 1000 kg of rice. Government will not say, oh, I will only take 500, I don't need the rest. No. The government has declared MSP for rice, so government will take it. Government will take whatever is the quantity, and that becomes problematic. So basically it's open-ended procurement. How much you have produced doesn't matter, government will take all of it, even if the government does not need so much. That creates surplus buffer stock, and that basically hinders diversification of agriculture. That is what's happening in Punjab also. Farmers, for example, they are assured that our wheat and rice will be sold to government. Why do I have to take a chance? Why do I grow something else? So they don't diversify, they focus all their energy on a few crops that has MSP, and that becomes a problem. Then, as I said, there's diversion of food grains, that it is leaked, black marketed, it goes to other places. Inadequate storage supply. As I told you, the problem with the Food Corporation of India, you can never have so many go downs of these humongous sizes. Some of them will always go bad. When you keep the grains outside, it might rain, it might have some other issues, and that becomes a problem. Also, there has been problem of inclusion and exclusion. Inclusion means maybe some people who were not eligible to get this program, they are in this program. Exclusion basically means people who needed to get into this program, who were eligible, were not made a part of this list for whatever reasons, clerical errors, etc. Those become problematic. There is lack of nutrition in the food grains, etc. because it focuses mainly on rice and wheat. India anyway is a very heavy carbohydrate diet country, and that becomes a problem. And then the huge subsidy bill. The huge subsidy bill that has even led to issues at the WTO, where India's food security program has come into question time and time again. So these are the challenges. Now we'll come to the suggestion part. Now, as I told you, in the suggestion part, there are a lot of different committees that you can quote from. Shanta Kumar Committee, very famous for this purpose. Economic Survey of the government also gave suggestions about how we can improve PDS. Supreme Court formed a committee to investigate farm laws. Even they suggested these things. So there are a lot of different committees that you can quote here and write examples. For example, they said that open-ended policy should be converted to closed-ended policy. Government should put a cap that we will basically buy this much and rest you can sell in the market. Something like that. Liquidate the buffer stock. If the Food Corporation of India cannot store the stock, there is no point keeping in the open, just sell it in the open market. There should be GPS enabling of the trucks to ensure that there is no black marketing, the food is not diverted. Provide 6 months of ration immediately after procurement season. So when you procure it from the farmers, why to keep it in the godown? Immediately distribute it to the poor people. Let storage be their issue rather than the government's issue. That is a suggestion. Computerization should happen. Aadhaar card should come into picture. There should be food fortification to increase the nutritional level. amount of population to be covered should be reduced. For example, when the COVID-19 crisis started and the government started distributing free food grains, you saw a lot of people, I know personally, who could very well afford to buy food grains. They were also being given free food grains for such a long time. It became such an oversupply that I myself saw people selling those rice and wheat and pulses in the market coming out in the open because they were getting so much of it from the government. So maybe the amount of population that needs to be covered is lower as compared to what it is, and that also has to change. Then we'll conclude this by telling how the PDS system is important, but it requires certain reforms to ensure financial sustainability and enhance food security. So that's a pretty simple, straightforward question that you can answer. And again, this is how you can include whatever you have read about different committees and commissions and different reports as well. Here is a homework for you. Let's see if you can answer this. It is based on what is happening recently. The homeworks these days, as you know, are not from previous year papers. What factors are driving the rise in both the frequency and intensity of forest fires in Uttarakhand? What strategies should be adopted to enhance climate resilience of the state's forest management practices? Try and write this answer. If you want me to give a feedback to you, you can always send this to this email ID. And again, if you have any question about the mains answer writing program that we are beginning, you can send these questions here. If you want any more update about those or new programs coming up, join the Telegram channel. The link is in the description of the video. Thank you so much for joining in. Bye-bye. Jai Hind.